Ready for a podcast about sports and current events that's worth a damn? Well, you're in the right place. This is On the Clock Radio. Funny as hell, and they love to argue. Let's do the damn thing. You're listening to On the Clock Radio with Raul Lezcano, Reggie Edwards, and Tyrone Benson.
Feels good to see the world get in. Feels good to see the world get in. That's right. I don't know about you, Sack Noel. I don't know about you, Phenom. I don't know about you, Mike Shadow. I don't know about you, but I feel good. Phenom. I don't know about you, Mike Shadow. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
What's going on, Tampa, Florida, man? It is January 16th. It's been a long time since I got on the podcast and talked, but I'm feeling good. It's a good day in Tampa Bay, man. Last night, Tampa Bay Buccaneers went ahead and whooped up on a little bit of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know there's a partner of mine that's not going to like hearing that, but that's what happened. You got your ass whooped. And there's so much going on in the NFL, so many coaches that are gone. Man, I wish I had Tyrone and Reggie here, but they chasing the bag. It's just me this morning. But I gotta tell you, man, I feel good. I feel real good. I don't feel good that my Dolphins are out of it, but I feel fine. I'm good with this. I still got a Florida team to represent. Let's get it, man. And Dallas ain't in it? Oh, I love it. I want to talk to you Dallas boys. It's a good day, man. Choking on my juice right now, but hey, let's get it going. Let's get it doing, Tampa. Get on up, man. Them Tampa Bay Bucks did it, man. Baker gonna lead you to the promise, man. Let's get it to it.
I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, Tampa, Florida, man. What's going on with you guys? I hope you guys are doing great. It's been a long time since I got on the podcast. A lot has been going on. We had to cut it short because of some legal matters that were going on there, but we got everything cleared up. Everything's good to go now, so I don't want to go into detail with it. I want to bring up the past. It's 2024, and I hope you guys are having a happy new year. It's been going on so much, man. I don't have much to talk about, but I'm going to talk about some things. Some things have been on my mind a little bit here with football. But starting off, let's just start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. Watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers whoop up on the Eagles was just, how can I say this? It was due. You Eagles fans and you Eagles, I guess fan base, I guess riders, I don't know what they call you guys because you're Eagles, but you Eagle fan base, what happened to you guys? You know what happened? What happened was your locker room got disarray, and that's why you lost 6 of your last 7 games. That's what ended up happening. To watch Baker Mayfield do what he does and kind of recreate himself was just amazing to watch last night, in my opinion. I mean, watching Baker throw for 337 and 3 touchdowns, winning the game 32-9. I mean, you sit back and you're like, well, can Baker do it? Now, I'm not saying, Bucs are going to Super Bowl, but they're one game closer to a goal, and they got to play the Detroit Lions, who have been on fire. Watching Jalen Hurts kind of melt down a little bit, that offense that was so electrifying last year, not being this year, is a big transition. Now, I know the Eagles have a offensive coordinator who was 1 year, this is his first year doing it, only been in the NFL for 3 years. That's pretty risky in itself. That's pretty, that's pretty a ballsy move to sit there and choose a man that hasn't been in the league very long. So you're not, not to say that his football knowledge isn't vast or whatever, and everybody struggles the first couple of years, but you kind of want to make sure that this individual, kind of gets groomed into that position, I'd say. Gets worked into it a little bit. I would think so, but that's not the case. And your offense, as electrifying as maybe some of your plays may be, they don't look that way to me. To me, they don't. Last year's OC did a great job of using Jalen Hurts in different capabilities that he has, as long as his, he has a great arm, but his feet are just as good. And they didn't really use much of that. And your run game was non-existent this year. I've been talking about it with buddies of mine for I don't know how long now. It is non-existent. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know why you guys don't run the ball at all anymore. I mean, at one point in the game last night, they were counting how many times you ran the ball. And by the third quarter, you've only ran the ball 8 times. But you threw for 49, 50 times. It's about that balance. And any team that can run the football this deep into the playoffs, they're going to go deeper. They're going to keep going because of the fact that they can run the football. It takes time off the clock, establishes more passing, in my opinion, for play action, holds linebackers at bay, so you really can't get that drop that they want to get, even if you do a straight drop back. It holds them. They have to respect it. But when you don't have that anymore, it's gone. When you don't have it, you're one-sided. And not to mention the Eagles, and I don't want to blame, I'm not making a blame game because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers whooped up on the Philadelphia Eagles in all phases of the game, offense and defense. But you didn't have A.J. Brown in there to accommodate Devontae Smith either. So, like, A.J. Brown's gone for whatever reason. They say he's injured, not feeling well, whatever the case may be. Well, you don't also delete your entire Eagles social media just because you have a knee injury, you know what I mean, or a back injury or whatever the case may be with him. So something's wrong there. But you didn't have anything else. All you had to really do was cover Devontae Smith and you win the game, and that's pretty much what they did. They pretty much made Jalen Hurts figure out, hey, you got to beat us with somebody else, and frankly, you don't have enough firepower on this field to beat anybody. The Eagles' defense was once not the premier, not the greatest, but at least respected in the league last year and in the last 2-3 years. Last night was just horrible. It was just horrible to watch. They don't want to tackle, and again, you're playing in Tampa Bay where the weather is not a factor. It was a nice 72 degrees last night. You know what I mean? That's beautiful football weather, especially for the NFL, especially after seeing what happened in Buffalo and KC. You know what I mean? You have a good weather there that everything should be fine. The problem with the fact was that you guys just shit the bed, man. And you hate to say it because all Eagles fans see what's going on, and now the only way going into the the next season, 2024 season for the Eagles going forward, I don't know what the fix is. I know what people think it is. Like, let's just fire the head coach. But again, this is a man that's gotten you to the Super Bowl. This man has gotten you to an NFC Championship. So like you kind of don't want to call it quits just so quickly. He has to learn as well because he's a young head coach as well. But in doing that, I think your OC is the issue also. I think your DC is the issue as well. You're Matt Patricia. I don't believe in those two guys. They haven't had a really good stint of football careers, even as people may think. You know what I mean? I wouldn't at all pick those guys. That's just me. Maybe try to find a different OC, and then if that doesn't work, then yeah, we got to take care of the head coach who couldn't put it together. Because you're losing your last 6 out of 7 games is just ridiculous. But the Bucs did it, man. They beat up on them and rightfully so. The other one I want to talk about is those Detroit Lions, man. Now the Bucs have to go to Detroit to play them. It's going to be amazing to watch. I want to see how this is going to work. I want to see how this is going to get by, I guess you can say. Tampa versus Detroit, which Detroit's been on fire. I can't lie, but last night I saw something in the Bucs that I haven't seen in a while, and that was defense. Tampa's known for defense, and even though the offense is clicking now, the way they were flying around to the football, the way they were getting after those receivers and running backs and pretty much shutting down the run game. I mean, they were getting after it last night. So now I'm interested to see what they do to Detroit. I know if you rattle Goff, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? You rattle him, then you control the entire offense. The other thing with Detroit is they run the ball very, very well. So watching Detroit have to try to maneuver around Tampa and their defense, that to me is going to be, that to me is going to be the key there. I want to see how this is going to work. Detroit has a good defense too, so it's going to be a battle. That game is going to be a great game to watch. I don't know yet. As we go into the weeks, I got to see who I'm going to choose. But I mean, they looked pretty good to me. They look pretty damn good. The other amazing game that was phenomenal was Packers and the Cowboys. Oh, you Cowboy fans, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, you Dallas Cowboys. What about them boys? Oh, well, how about Jordan Love? How about that? How about Jordan Love coming into Dallas and whooping up on you pretty good? That score doesn't tell how badly you guys got beat. They gave you a couple touchdowns at the end just to make you feel good. But you guys got your ass kicked. I mean, thoroughly got your ass kicked. Jordan Love, I mean, what more can you say about it? I was talking about this with family and stuff like this the other day. You don't remember. As a kid, all I remember in 91 through many years was Brett Favre was the quarterback. And then after him was Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love. The Green Bay Packers, in my mind, have only had 3 quarterbacks. That's it. They haven't had anything else. They've only had 3 quarterbacks in my mind. Okay? There's some teams that go through 3 quarterbacks in a game. All right? These guys have 3 in a span of 30 years, which is amazing in itself. Jordan Love is completely on fire. Completely on fire. If you didn't watch the game, they are completely on fire. He's clicking at all gears, man. This kid, I mean, a flick of the wrist is throwing dimes. Watching them run the football with Aaron Jones and Emmanuel Wilson, like they got it. They got it. You know what I'm saying? Let me look here on the stat sheet here. Aaron Jones, let me see. Yep. 21 carries, 118 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And like I just told you no more than 5 minutes ago, if you can run the football in the playoffs, you're going to go deep in the playoffs. Now, the 49ers have to go the Packers have to go face the 49ers at their own field. And a game like that gives you uber confidence. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're playing supposedly the number 1 offense in the National Football League. Okay, the Packers, like I said, demolished the Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, couldn't beat anybody that had a winning record anyway. That was the kicker. Like, these guys sat here and could not beat anybody that had a winning record. Okay, and it proved it. It definitely proved it on, what was it, Saturday night, Sunday night? They proved it, man. These guys can't hold a candle to a team that's well coached. So to see Jordan Love do his thing was amazing. To see how he I mean, that offensive line was just manhandling Dallas's defensive line. Don't get me wrong, Parsons got in there a couple times. Jordan did get sacked a couple times, but it didn't overshadow what he was doing. I mean, I don't know. He reads the whole field, and the windows that he's throwing footballs in is just amazing to me. On the other side of the coin here, on the other side of the field is Dak Prescott. Okay, Dak Prescott, to me, I know people are going to blame Dak. They're going to say Dak is the reason. Now, yes, Dak threw 2 interceptions, 1 being a pick 6. I get that. Not cool. I get that completely. But the people to really blame is that damn defense. That defense is supposedly, and they got some players there. I know you guys lost Diggs early on, Trayvon Diggs early on in the season. I get that, but by now you guys should have fixed it. By now you should have did something with it. And I don't know, the defense just didn't look in sync, didn't look like they know where they're going. Now, no discredit to Jordan Love and the Packers. I think they made that defense look like what they are. They're just subpar. You guys are just okay. You guys are, you could beat a 4-11 team and beat the crap out of them and make it look good. But that defense, non-existent. Non-existent when it comes to when it came to the Packers. And now they're packed up and gone home. And I know, Jerry Jones is upset. I know Jerry Jones doesn't like it, but, people saying fire McCarthy. That's what they're saying, right? Because McCarthy got you guys to a 12-5 record the last 3 years or 2 years. And, you guys were 8-0 at home and you guys, first round of playoffs, you get booted. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you blame the head coach on that one. I really don't. I think it's the delusional and pressure that comes with being a Dallas football head coach. I mean, when you sign to be a coach for the Dallas Cowboys as a head coach, you got to deal with Jerry Jones. You got to deal with the extra bullshit that comes with being Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones signs the checks. Jerry Jones is going to be all over the place. I got to see on SportsCenter, there was people talking about how, they played for Dallas and they played for Baltimore, and then, they never even saw the owner but 2 times in 8 months or a year that they played there for that 1 year. I mean, Jerry Jones, you're going to see him every day of every second, everywhere he goes. It's Jerry's team. I mean, I wonder if Jerry ever wondered he can coach the fucking team. At one point, I wonder in his younger days, like, you know what, I could coach the fucking Dallas Cowboys. I wonder how many meetings McCarthy has to go to with Jerry Jones about every freaking game, every little thing that goes on in the Dallas Cowboys camp. I wonder how many times you got to go see the owner. That can't be a good feeling when you should be coaching football, coaching practice. So it comes with it. I know McCarthy and the Dallas fans are going to blame McCarthy, but what do What else do you show? Okay, let's talk about it here. What else does he need to do? He showed you he has the number one offense in the NFL, supposedly number one offense in the NFL. You had a great defense. I think they were ranked number 5 or 4 or whatever defensively. You go 12-5. You're 8-0 at home this year. 16-0. I mean, if you count last year, you guys are undefeated at home, and you come back to Dallas feeling confident, and the Packers come here and pick you apart. You're telling me that's McCarthy's fault? I don't think that's McCarthy's fault at all. I think that's more of a I think that's more of a defensive guy. I don't think he was prepared. I don't think maybe he got to see everything. Maybe he didn't do enough film. I don't know. But it definitely didn't work out for him at all. So I don't know if they're calling for his head. Now, McCarthy goes. There's a lot of coaches that got fired. The one in particular who did not get fired but parted ways from the Patriots. I think Belichick, why not take this deal? Maybe Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick don't have the kind of personalities that can coexist. Because it only worked in the Patriots because Kraft didn't interfere with anything. Kraft didn't do shit with the Patriots as far as interfering with what Belichick wanted. Jerry Jones is going to interfere with Belichick, so it might be conflict. But if I'm a head coach and McCarthy gets fired, let's say he does, man, I'm looking for that job. I might want to take that job. You really don't have to put too many more puzzle pieces together. You just got to get them over the hump. You win 1-2 playoff games, not even a Super Bowl. You win 1 or 2 playoff games, you're there for the next 4 years because then you're the guy that can get them over the hump. A lot of people call it the Jerry Jones curse, and it might be true, but I don't know, man. Dallas has a lot to offer. There's a lot of good things there, but you just got to find a way to get over that hump, man. And hopefully McCarthy is here for one more day, one more year, one more practice. Who knows? This Tuesday morning he hasn't been fired, so we'll see. Still plenty of the day to go by, so we'll see if he hasn't fired. Because right now it's 11:20 a.m. on January 16th. I haven't heard anything that he's gotten removed or fired or seen anything just yet, but trust me, it's a long day. I'm sure Jerry's going to take a couple days and then realize what he wants to do. Other games that were fantastic that I love watching was the Browns and Texans. Watching C.J. Stroud do his thing. I mean, I don't get me wrong. God bless Flacco. God bless him for getting in there and taking the Browns where they were, 11-6, getting to a playoff. There was a complete breakdown there. They were early on they were doing pretty good, but they stalled out. Texans are for real. They're riding high with Stroud, so I'm interested to see how this is going to work out with the Texans in Baltimore. I mean, whew. Again, it's the Baltimore Ravens, man. Baltimore is firing off cylinders. I know that because I got to see that firsthand when they whooped the shit out of my Dolphins, just like when the Chiefs whooped up on us too. Let's just call it what it is. They beat us 26-7, and it doesn't matter if it was cold or not. That those Chiefs weren't going to be. They weren't going to go first round. You could just tell. Pachenko, 24 carries, 89 yards, and those 89 yards meant something with a 1-yard touchdown. The other guy that impressed me was 8 receptions, 130 yards, and a 1 touchdown was Rice, the wide receiver for the Chiefs. Mahomes, did connect quite a few times with Kelsey. Kelsey still has drops. I'm not blaming Taylor Swift or anybody else like everybody is saying it's her fault. It's not her fault. But I do think the big guy needs to concentrate a little bit more. He's turning and looking to run before he catches the football, something he's never done before. But when he secures the catch, he's good to go, and he's always wide open. For whatever reason, Kelsey's always wide open. There's 3 things you can be assured about, and one of them is Kelsey's open. Death, taxes, and Kelsey's always open. But again, the Chiefs were magical. Lions look good. Bills look good. I mean, despite the fact that they had a bowl full of snow in their stadium, I mean, that thing was ridiculous. Shout out to the fans of Bills Mafia who went over there for $20 an hour and removed snow for 3 days. God bless you. You are true fans. They also got to eat for free all day for Buffalo, which was really cool. I mean, and the Bills showed the Steelers who they are, 31-17. Another one that's on the hot seat supposedly is Mike Tomlin from the Steelers. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's giving you winning seasons. He has a young team. They got to get over the hump. He still made the playoffs. I mean, let that man cook, as they say. Let that man cook. He's playing with a backup with a third string, Mason Rudolph, or maybe he's the backup. 229, 2 touchdowns and an interception. He did okay, but I mean, what are you going to do when you got Josh Allen on the other side who runs 52 yards for a touchdown? Because your Steelers don't want to tackle. Again, that goes on defense for me. You got to want to tackle. I know how cold it is. I get it. You got to want to do that. You got to have a crazy chip in your head. You got to want to go do it. I don't know, man. It's going to be a great, great, great playoffs. I mean, this is going to be phenomenal to see the Texans and the Ravens playing at 4:30 p.m. on a Saturday, watching Packers and 49ers. I don't know who I'm going to choose. I'll probably let you guys know later on this week who I'm going to choose. Buccaneers and Lions, Chiefs and Bills. I mean, it's going to be a really, really good playoff. I'm excited about this. Last year I wasn't too excited. This year I'm really excited to watch who's going to win. I did predict early on last year when the season started, I did predict Ravens and 49ers would be in the Super Bowl. That's who I predicted to be in there. But we're going to see. You know, the Ravens got a long way to go. Coming off that bye, we're going to see if they're ready to go. Texans are going to be ready. The Texans are going to be ready to go. It's going to be interesting to see, man. And the 49ers, God bless you. You got Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is 4,200 yards on the year, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Like he's firing on cylinders. You got McCaffrey. You got guys that can ball. You got guys that can play. But please don't sleep on those Packers and those wide receivers. Please don't. Please don't. That D line for the 49ers, you're gonna have to get after it to get to Jordan Love to rattle him. But again, that Packers offensive line, them boys were blocking. It was fun to watch, man. It's fun to watch. The other news in the NFL, man, you got a lot of coaches that got fired. I mean, Black Monday was crazy. I mean, some that were expecting. You know, Atlanta Falcons head coach is gone. Carolina Panthers head coach is gone. The Raiders head coach is gone. Chargers head coach is gone. Bill Belichick parted ways, and Pete Carroll announced that he would move on to an advisory role. Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel is gone. Washington Commanders, Ron Rivera is gone. I will say this. If I see another team, one of these teams, pick up a coach that got fired, and now he's the head coach of the other team, what are you expecting from this guy? One in particular that rattles my brain is Ron Rivera. What do you expect from Ron Rivera? What has he shown you that you can be like, yo, he can get us on the right path? I don't think he has any of those things. Ron Rivera at Carolina, I think he had maybe one good season. That was Cam's MVP season. And again, I think that was more Cam than Ron Rivera. But, you know, give credit. We'll give credit where credit's due. We'll put it to him. He could get partial. But if you hire Ron, let's say you're the Falcons, you hire Ron Rivera. What are you expecting from Ron Rivera? You expected at least to win 5-6 games? I mean, that's what he did in Washington for 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the interviews that were requested for Lions defensive coordinator, Lions offensive coordinator, requested interview with Rams defensive coordinator. The Washington Commanders are just requesting anybody. They're just looking for anybody to replace Ron Rivera. I mean, they requested an interview with the Lions defensive coordinator, Eric Glenn. They requested an interview with Rams defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris. They requested an interview with Bears assistant GM. They requested interviews with Ravens associate head coach, Anthony Weaver. 49ers assistant GM. Requested an interview with Ravens defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald. Requested an interview with Cowboys defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Please do not hire Dan Quinn. That's just my opinion. Requested an interview with Texas offensive coordinator, Bobby Schlow. I mean, they're just asking everybody and their mom. Same thing with the Titans. Titans are asking pretty much the same guys, Dan Quinn, Bobby. I mean, it's the same kind of guys, same names that are floating around, but I don't know. I'm excited to see New England Patriots. They hired Jared Mayo. That's a pretty good one. The Chargers has the longest list I've ever seen in my life. I think all 32 teams are on this list here that I'm looking at that they requested for interviews. Jesus. I don't know. There's a lot of jobs. I mean, if you take the Atlanta Falcons, that's a project in itself. That's a project in itself. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons haven't been good since the Dirty Bird days, and that took a lot to get them there. Excited to see Michael Vick when he dropped there too, but that was years ago. Panthers, that's a hell of a project. That's a hell of a project. I'm hoping somebody can come in there and truly groom their quarterback. I don't know. That's a project. Carolina didn't show me any kind of fight at any point during the season. Even when it was early on, they just didn't show any kind of fight in my eyes. The Raiders fired Josh McDaniels. We're hoping Antonio Pierce becomes the head coach there. That's who I think the people would want to see. He embodies Las Vegas as far as the attitude, the Al Davis win baby win type mentality. I mean, that stat they gave one of the games I saw about Antonio Pierce when he coached high school football. He was winning a game 99-0, and he was still trying to score. What an animal! What an animal! And Antonio Pierce, I mean, the record that he has in the NFL, I mean, why would you not want this guy? Maybe he can get you to the promised land. I don't know. Because sometimes it takes more for a head coach. I know you need X and O's, absolutely. But you need somebody that can just pull that extra dog. I mean, I think everybody in the NFL is a dog. I really do. Second string practice squad. I really do. Because you get vented. So, I mean, the process of from high school to college to NFL, they're venting people left and right. Like they're trying to find people. And some are better than others that they had. But for the most part, everybody's a little bit of a dog in there. Everybody got there because they had some kind of talent that some coach saw, that some coach liked. But you need a head coach that's going to pull some out of you. Going to push you just a little bit more. I see that with Antonio Pierce. So if the Raiders are smart, they sign him, keep him. They just look like a different team when they play. Maybe change how practice was or whatever, but you need that kind of grit and dog to come get you and play. You know what I mean? So the NFL is up in grabs, man. I mean, it's interesting with the firing of the head coaches, and then the playoffs. It's interesting. The other thing I quickly want to talk about was I think the NFL did do a bullshit move by putting that game on Peacock, the Chiefs and the Dolphins. I mean, selling the game for $110 million. I mean, shit me, man. Yeah, they say, it's the highest rated watch. Yeah, because goddammit, we have to go pay for a streaming service. You made us go pay for a streaming service and you beefed up their numbers, which I don't know who watched. If you paid to watch that game, God bless you. God bless you that you did. And figured, I'll just cancel it. You still had to pay $6 to watch that game. Some people had to pay 10. I mean, you still had to pay money to watch the game. I wasn't going to pay that money. I'll just find a way to stream it for free because I'm not paying for something that, we already give millions of dollars to every year. The NFL, that was a bullshit move as far as I think. But we'll see. We'll see. I know when streaming service went to Amazon Prime, yep. So this was going to happen. This was an indicator. But that's my quick little brief. I just can't stand the shit that they did there. That's a bullshit move, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a greedy move. Good for them. But for the people that are, longtime Chiefs fans, longtime Dolphin fans that are 56 to 75, and now we got to go get a streaming service and put it on where they just used to turn on the TV and watch the game. I mean, it's like, come on, man. And I know what you think, Miami, they was on the local channel. That's great. What about all of us who aren't in Miami, who are Dolphin fans or Chief fans? Like, come on. I got a buddy in Kansas that loves the Chiefs. He had to go get a streaming service. It sucks, man. I don't think that's a bullshit move to do that to your fans. I really do. But that's the NFL, man. The college, listen, what are we supposed to do with college now? What's going to happen with college? I don't know. I never thought in a million years that I would see Nick Saban retire and Bill Belichick not coach the Patriots. I knew it was going to happen sometime. I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to see these two individuals not coach. You know what I mean? And do their thing and be dominant for so many years. I don't know, man. He's retiring. He's done. Nick Saban gave us so many great years, and you can either love Alabama or hate him, but you got to respect what he's done over there. You got to respect, the numerous titles and college football appearances and bowl games. I mean, he established one hell of a dynasty in Alabama. I mean, I don't know. Bear Bryant would be twirling his grave. I don't know, man. It's an end of an era, which, you got to pick up the ramifications from it. The kids that he was recruiting, probably don't feel the same about the new coach that's coming in. We'll see how that works. I mean, for Alabama. God, I hope they don't win 8 games. Like 7, like, God bless the new coach that's taking Alabama. God bless him for being the new head coach there. God bless him. But, man, that's a hard job to follow. I probably want to be the second or the third guy that takes the job of Alabama. That way I can fix whatever the guy did and make myself look great. But when you're already, Nick Saban, there's going to be a statue and all this stuff for him. There's probably a a wing of the school that's named after him. I mean, it's going to be hard to sit there and replace him. You know what I mean? You just want to continue all the great things that he was doing. That's pretty much what you really want to do. But I never thought I'd see Nick Saban and Bill Belichick part ways with the teams that they've been coaching for years now, for many, many, many years. It's just going to be interesting to me to see what college football is going to be like from now on. I mean, when they did the NIL deal in the portal, they knew what they were doing. The committees and the higher ups that run college football, they knew they had to make it even or make it some kind of way where, Alabama isn't winning or playing in the playoffs every year. They had to figure out a way to try to do that. You know what I mean? And which they did. I mean, nobody would have thought to see, Michigan playing for a national championship, and then actually nobody even believed that they would win it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see college football. The other team is Florida State. Oh my God. I don't know, man. Let me read this to you guys. I saw this the other day, and I couldn't believe it. All right, so let me see here. This sits here and says, the NCAA announced Thursday that a Florida State assistant football coach violated its recruiting rules in April 2022 by transporting a transfer prospect and his family to a meeting with a school booster. At the meeting, the booster, who was affiliated with the name, image, and likeness collective connected to the school, offered the recruit a $15,000 per month NIL opportunity, according to the NCAA report. Boosters are generally not allowed to meet with prospects nor propose NIL deals in an attempt to attract a player. The decision represents the NCAA's most severe punishment yet for a school violating its NIL as NIL inductment ban. Don't blame me because I can't read. I have Florida education. FSU agreed to a list of penalties for the infraction, including a 3-game suspension and a 2-year showcase for the coach who has been identified by other outlets as offensive coordinator Alice. Oh my gosh. Temporary disassociation from the booster and the collective involvement and specific restrictions are recruiting visits or communication during the academic year. Wow. During this academic year. In addition, FSU accepted a $5,000 fine plus a 1% the school's football budget and a 5% reduction in football scholarships over a 2-year period, accounting to a total reduction of 5 scholarships. The university will also be on probation for 2 years. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to make of this. In addition, in 2021, the school proposed spending $54 million on football, 10th among public universities, according to, okay, so that's great that they spend money. I don't know how to feel about this, man. I really don't. I mean, after a year like they had, going 13-0 and not being able to get to the college playoffs, I know I have my resentments about that. I have my views on it, but shit. I don't get this, man. So, I understand the rules. I get the rules. I understand the NIL deals. I understand that's a bad thing. Don't meet the boosters. I get that. But this is pretty fucking harsh, man. This is pretty harsh for FSU. And I'll explain why. You're going to tell me, penalties are penalties and blah, 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 blah. I am a Miami Hurricane fan through and through. When they didn't make college playoffs, I know it's going to be petty. I was fucking laughing at you guys. But because I knew you weren't going to make the college playoffs because Alabama beat Georgia. Nobody believed me, but I told you, don't be mad at Alabama. Be mad at Georgia for not taking care of business. Georgia beats Alabama, you're in the college playoffs. You probably win the college national championship, maybe, or give a better fight than Washington did to Michigan, but you're in there. And if I really believe if you had, what's his name, Travis Jordan on your, as your QB, you definitely made the college playoffs. But this is fucking harsh. Especially when a head coach of a program got suspended twice in a college football year for stealing signs from another team, but was allowed to go on to the college playoffs. I'm going to say that again. And I'm not going to tiptoe it the second time. This is a harsh penalty for FSU. When a man in his program was caught cheating twice in the same college football year. When Jim Harbaugh and Michigan got caught cheating and stealing signs, which I know you're going to tell me it's not really cheating, it's just frowned upon. I don't give a shit what you say. When you pay for people to sit behind the bench of another team and tell them to record all the shit that's going on back there, that's fucking cheating. Bill Belichick was a cheater. He cheated. And those games that they suspected that he had those guys sit behind, they should have fucking took those games away from them. And then you don't have no problem. Michigan don't even make it to the bowl. But the NCAA didn't do it. They just suspended Harbaugh. That's it. Gave him that penalty. Why can't we have the same shit here? Why can't we just have the suspension of the offensive coordinator and call it good? Jesus Christ. 15. I mean, this is a hell of a fine, man. I know this is for, the penalty. I get it for the boosters, but shit, man. FSU agreed to a list of penalties for the infraction. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that's a lot. That's a hell of a penalty. And all the other guy got was a damn suspension. These guys got to give up 5 scholarships. They got to give up $5,000 in fines plus a 1% of school's football budget. I mean, damn, you didn't let them go to the college players, and now you got to take their money? Again, I know they broke a rule, but this is pretty fucking harsh. And I know what this is for. This is to make other teams not do this, to deter people, make it harsh. But you should have made Harbaugh's harsh. If all I get is 3 game suspension for stealing signs, fuck it, I'm going to steal the signs. You're not going to do anything to me. You're not going to take away my bowl game. You're not going to take away money from me. You're not going to, suspend me for the year. This is crazy. This is crazy. Whatever games they were suspended for or whatever he got suspended for, they should have that's a loss. That's a fucking loss. I don't care if it happened last year or not. That's a loss. If it happened the year prior, fine. You are not allowed to participate in a bowl game this year. I don't care how many games they won. You let the team in with cheating, and then this year, because he met them with the boosters and not to entice them. I'm sorry, NCAA. I'm sorry, fans of the NCAA. If you don't think this shit has been going on before NIL, you don't think this is going on. You don't think, and I'm not going to name the school. You don't think a school came to me when I was the offensive coordinator of a high school and wanted to pay me money to try to get a kid to go to their school, or went to the kid himself and told them, hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars a month for you to go and play for us? Or you don't think this happened beforehand? You don't think this is going to happen? And what did you think was going to happen when you introduce NIL? Now kids can officially get paid. What did you think was going to happen? Again, I understand it's a penalty. I get it. But damn, a 3 game suspension, 2-year showcase. I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. This is pretty harsh even for FSU. Even for FSU, this is pretty harsh. It really is, man. I don't know. God bless you, Norvell, who I'm thoroughly impressed. Had the beautiful opportunity to go to a Florida State practice. And Jesus, when I went to their practice the first year he took over, I told the other coaching staff, I told buddies of mine that were FSU, I said, you guys are going to win a national championship within 3 years. That was 2 years ago. I said, you're going to win a national championship in 3 years, bro. This man is killing it over here. Like this is a phenomenal practice. I saw Norvell running around practice when they had to change groups and change drill stations. He's running around with the horn. I mean, he brought such energy to practice. It's amazing what he's done over there. And this is pretty harsh even for Norvell. And NCAA, shame on you. Shame on you for showing favoritism. Yeah, that's not good. Listen, that's all I got for you. I don't want to go too long. I got lots more. Reggie and Tyrone, they'll be back with the bag. Trust me when I tell you they'll be here. I love y'all guys, man. Listen, mental health, if you haven't checked on one of your friends, one of your buddies, military or just non-military, check on them, okay? Make sure they're doing good. Last year was a tough year. This year might be tough for them. Check on them. Don't just go by. Don't let another day or minute or hour go by. Check on your family members. Check especially on your mothers. Check on them. Make sure they're all good to go, okay? With that said, man, if you like what you heard, man, follow us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Listen to the podcast on Podbean or wherever your podcasting choice is. We're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We have it all over the places. Like, share, comment, send it to your friends. Email me on ontheclock20@gmail.com. That's ontheclock20@gmail.com. Email me with things you want to talk about. Hell, if you want to come up on the show, I don't care who you are. I don't care where you live. I don't care what state you are. Come on the show and let's talk some sports and see if we can get a good debate going. All right? Thank you so much. You guys be safe in Tampa. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Well, there's a gray area there, so do what I would do. But don't do, well, you know what I mean. You guys just have a good time and make good choices. I'm going to holler at you. I'm out, man.
On the clock. 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 On the clock.
you've been listening to On the Clock Radio. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And we'll be back soon. But make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at On the Clock Radio. Y'all be cool. See you next time.